Hello and welcome to I Can't Say It, day 318. Whew, seems crazy to come out here every day and make a video. And the fact that we're here at 318. Wow. So I was driving home today, listening to a story on NPR. And it's really funny how you can be listening to a story about a child with a stuffed animal, and they talked about the child leaving Germany and going to Kalmar, Sweden. And it's like hearing the name Kalmar, Sweden brought back memories. In 2002, I took a tour with Rick Steves' tour group that took us to Scandinavia in, I think it was 18 days. We started the tour in Denmark. We were there for 4 to 5 days. Then we went north to Sweden, hopped over to Finland for a day, then back to Sweden, finishing in Norway. Oh, excuse me. What my fondest memory of that trip, and I have many fond memories of that trip. I truly enjoyed that trip. That was a 4-week vacation because I did the first 3 in Scandinavia, then I flew from Norway to London, and then I did a week in London. And that was 4 weeks off from work, and it was a glorious vacation, I gotta tell you. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, back to the story. So the NPR story had mentioned Kalmar. And Kalmar is a small city on the Baltic coast. It is south of Stockholm. And it was one of those places where when we had driven across from Denmark into Sweden, we stayed in Kalmar because of the big castle that was there. And people were spending their time. So we had, one day I think we had a tour, but the next day we had free. And not knowing what to do, they suggested bicycle riding. So me and this other couple, who I think they were from the Bay Area as well, said, well, why not? And we all hopped on our bicycles and we rode around the town of Kalmar, the city of Kalmar. And it was an absolutely gorgeous day. I think we were mid-80s. The streets were just well paved. The houses were cute on nice little lots. And it was just a great time to just ride around. And then we got to a certain point, at one point where we could have got on a bridge to go to the island of Öland, I think it's called. But we decided against it just because we weren't sure about how much time we had to actually get across the bridge and then come back. And so then we just kept riding around, just having a good old time, just checking out a city. There is just nothing better than a casual ride on a bicycle when you're just checking things out. And we did that for the better part of several hours. And then eventually we got a little bit hungry. And I recall us stopping at an ice cream stand. And they didn't have them in the United States at the time, but we had Magnum bars. And I cannot, to this day, pass a Magnum bar in the freezer section of your local grocery store and not think of Kalmar, Sweden. Because the ice cream bar at that particular moment just hit the spot. I don't know if I was really hungry, or if it was the weather or whatnot, but there's just sometimes a food just gets you at the right moment. And 16 years later, and it's crazy to think that it's been 16 years. 16 years later, I still think of Magnum bars and Kalmar and the trip that I took as one of those vacation memories that I truly treasure. Now here's even the funny part too, is that I hadn't fully done my genealogical research at that time. I had the research that somebody had paid for the Onans, and the Onans are my dad's side of the tree. But my dad's, and it's really my dad's side of the tree, but my dad's mom's side of the tree, they are, sure, her maiden name is Westling, and her parents' name was Hammer. And would you like, and I'm not going to, I could say, you could probably guess where they're from. Yes, the Hammers are from Kalmar, Sweden. I only learned that later after I started doing digging into the family background, and I got the birth certificates and death certificates for a whole lot of my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, uncles, aunts, and so on. And so and now that trip has so much more meaning because, okay, I know this is going to sound cliche, but it felt like I was coming home in a way. I was like, wow, it's a place that you could feel comfortable just riding up and down the street, and there's just the three of us, and we're just doing this on bikes. I don't think we had helmets on, and it didn't matter. It's because this is one of those, it was just one of those things that you do when you're on vacation that is, not part of a tour group. It's not part of visiting a museum. It is actually getting out and about amongst the people. You're not, stuck in a museum. You're just out there doing the things you like, seeing things at your pace. And that is still one of the reasons why I like riding a bicycle, is that you can get out, you can make some good distance, get some good speed, and it's a fairly cheap way of getting out and about. Who cares if you smell or if you stink? Doesn't really matter. Who cares if your hair gets messy? You're riding a bike. People expect that. And to this day, I do hope to go back to Kalmar. Just, it might be kind of interesting to go and do some genealogical research to see if there's anything that can be learned about my family, because there is part of me that wishes that I had, gone to see if there are any Hammers left in Kalmar. But the thing is that if I did do that, then I may not have gone bicycle riding. And I might have learned about family, but, choices are made. But then, actually, it wasn't a choice. The choice to ride a bicycle through Kalmar was a great choice. And still one of my top vacation memories. Yeah. Anyway, it's coming up on 10:30. I decided that I don't need to talk about anything else today. I'm just going to talk about Kalmar, Sweden, because it was mentioned on the radio today, and I have very fond memories of that place. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a pleasant evening, and I hope to see you all tomorrow.